Beatz Media presents the Scoop and Score Football Show.
Hi everybody and welcome back here to the Scoop and Score Football Show, brought to you by Ball N Beatz Media, episode 15 here. And what a weekend we've had here, Spencer. Before we get into that though, we do have a nice guest here joining us, Jacob. Good friend of Spencer, over the phone with us. Jacob, how are you, sir?
I am good. I am doing good, Logan. I'm very excited to be on this podcast. Very excited to talk NFL and college with you guys.
Yes, sir. Well, as we said, we've had a lot of action this past weekend. College football playoff is finally set in stone. Conference championship weekend has come and gone. More NFL drama has happened as well. But before we get into all of that, it's my first sip of B&B water already, actually. I have to get it out the way now. A little parched. Little parched. You guys should go subscribe to the channel. Should hit the push notification bell to stay up to date on all new videos. Follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And just stay subscribed everywhere. Follow us on our Instagram page. Follow us on our TikTok page. We go live every Monday night at 11 p.m. We also go live maybe some other times throughout the week if breaking news comes in. So follow us everywhere. And we will be everywhere. Okay? All right. Yeah. So, conference championship weekend. I think we need to get that rant out the way before we even talk about the college football playoff. Indiana, 13. Ohio State, 10. 13-10. I think Ohio State's seen that once or twice in their life.
Yeah, they have.
I don't know if you were done talking or not, Logan or Jake. Yeah, it was a garbage game for Ohio State. They didn't play well at all. In totality of it being a football game, I thought it was a fun game to watch. It was a defensive battle. It was two very good defenses. Indiana's, their defensive line was everywhere. Their front seven was phenomenal. They were just attacking Ohio State's offensive line. Julian Sain was under pressure a good amount of the night. And the right side of Ohio State's offensive line has to be better. For either Texas A&M or Miami, because that's who they'll play in the Cotton Bowl. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, losing that game sucked, and losing the way they did really, the offense did not play well at all. The offensive play calling by Hartline was a mess. Their third down play calling, their goal-to-goal, situations that they had, it was bad all around. Red zone efficiency was really bad. They did not play well in the red zone. They moved the ball, but when it got down to it, Indiana, kind of turned into Ohio State's defense. They bend, but they don't break. And their one touchdown that Ohio State had was on a short field off an interception from Mendoza. And listen, the whole Heisman battle and all the awards that this game was going to come down to, Indiana deserves it. Indiana deserved to win that game, and I'm going to give them credit. Their offense played good enough. They moved the ball when they needed to. And Mendoza had some really good NFL-type throws in the fourth quarter and should easily win the Heisman. I don't think that anybody else has a shot. I know people will say Diego Pavia. No, it's Mendoza. Mendoza deserves it. And, Sayan had some good throws as well, but he also missed some. Sayan didn't have his best game, and it was kind of Sayan's first time being under pressure. We saw it some in the Texas game, but at the same time, Indiana's defensive line was all over OSU's O-line. Tegra Shabola was awful. He was horrific at the right guard. And he needs to play better. They need to play better offensive line-wise. They need to give Julian Sain the time to throw the ball, let the play develop. And they didn't against Indiana. And at the end of the day, Indiana made the plays when they needed to, and Ohio State did not. And am I mad about it? Not really. I was bummed. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. We still haven't won a Big Ten title in 5 years. But that's not the end goal. It's not the end goal. And there's a reason why Ohio State is still the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. They have the best overall roster. the one thing that's holding them back is play calling, and you saw that in the Big Ten title game. The offensive play calling was awful, especially in the second half. They didn't score a single point in the second half, and they were down in the red zone twice. They didn't come away with a single point. One was a 4th and 1 to where you did a QB sneak, but you didn't have the guard going behind Sane. You had the guard pushing the center and Sane just following behind. It was a really dumb play. And Sane was down a foot before he had his knee down. And the other one, obviously, what's going to get talked about, Jaden Fielding missing a super easy chip shot 27-yard field goal. And it's the story with Jaden Fielding the past 2 years. He can't make clutch kicks. And it's so annoying that this is our kicker. He sucks. And I'm tired of Jaden Fielding. It's been an issue at Ohio State for years, kicking. They have not had a kicker. They had Noah Ruggles. Noah Ruggles was good, but he will only be known for that kick against Georgia, the one where he shanked it to Tennessee.
Yes.
And that's the story with Fielding as well. Fielding has made some kicks, but then there's some where he just misses it by a mile, and it's not even close. And even the field goal he made, it had to hook back into the uprights. I thought he was going to miss.
It's absurd.
The first one.
It was absurd.
At the end of the day, it sucked. But it's not the end goal. It's not the end goal to win the Big Ten. It would have been nice to have the 1 seed, yeah, but at the same time, it's like the 3 seed probably has the easiest path with Georgia. Ohio State's path isn't super hard, but it's not super easy either. It's how you want in the playoff.
I think it's one of the harder paths in the playoff.
It definitely is.
It depends on who wins between A&M and Miami, because both of them have good defensive lines, and both of them, Ohio State's O-line has to play better. But at the end of the day, you know, the paths thing and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. Just win the game.
Well, it's hard. It's the hardest path because Ohio State and Georgia, if they do win, they're going to have to meet each other for the semifinal, no longer be the national title.
But Indiana would have to play Texas Tech or Oregon. And Texas Tech and Oregon are 2 elite teams. I mean, there's no easy path. There's none. No. Georgia, you could say, has an easy path to the semifinals maybe, because they would have to play either Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin or Tulane with a coach who's just juggling 2 coaching jobs right now, which is insane. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, the semifinals are hard for everybody, and they should be.
You're right.
There's no easy path, because maybe Georgia you can say is an easy path at the semis, but they got to play Ohio State, and Ohio State has the best roster in college football. And for Indiana's side of the bracket, you got to play Oregon, who is going to be pissed off that they lost the first time in Eugene, and the reason why they weren't the 1 seed, or the reason why they weren't playing in Indianapolis, or Texas Tech, who has up there with the best defensive line in all of college football, with a $7 million offensive line, with an offense who sputters at times, but played really well against BYU. So at the end of the day, there's no easiest path, because all these teams are really good.
I think the loss for Ohio State, though, I do want to say, the fact that they have looked human has opened the door for more of these teams to really win the title. I think coming into this, everyone kind of had the expectation of whatever happens in the Indiana-Ohio State game kind of dictates what the playoff, or how the playoff will unfold. With them losing and looking human, other teams like the Texas Techs, like the Oregons, even the winner of the A&M Miami game has to be a little more confident coming into the playoff than they did before.
I mean, maybe. It's like Ohio State probably played like a C-, a C game, and they lost by 3. And that shows you how much talent is on this team. That shows you how good this team is. If this team's playing at their best, nobody's beating them. Nobody. You've seen this. They've dominated every team they've played, and the one team that they lost to with Indiana's the number 1 team in the country. There's a reason why they won that game. It's because of their defense. Their defense played phenomenal, and their D-line did.
That defensive coordinator.
I'm not gonna dog Ohio State too much, because The Big Ten title game doesn't matter like what it did a few years ago or what it did 10 years ago. Now it's like, who really cares? Like, oh, if Ohio State lost, dropped to 2. Okay. Like, it would have been cool to win the Big Ten, but they didn't. Indiana wins their first Big Ten title since outright Big Ten title since I think the 50s or something
Yeah,
like that.
it was 1956.
Yeah, it was insane, and they beat Ohio State for the first time in over 40 years. It was a cool moment for them, and they deserved it. Now, I don't think Indiana wants to play Ohio State again, to be completely honest with you, because I think they know how pissed off they would play, and they would have all the motivation they need to try to beat Indiana. And
Shout out
it's something
Charlie
to watch
Becker.
out for. And then here's
Yeah.
the thing with Ryan Day with the playoffs, he's gotten his team to be motivated. You saw it last year. He can do it again. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I agree with that. But honestly, Ohio State's tackles got exposed that game. That was the most pressure those two tackles has faced all season since Texas, and they did really well against Texas. But I mean, those two tackles, they got exposed with the speed, they got exposed with the bowl, and Stain got sacked 5 times because of the outside pressure. The two guards were amazing. Montgomery did really well that game. Run wise, I don't know. Like the run blocking was decent. Like Bo Jackson had some moments, but in my opinion, what really got exposed though were the corners. Charlie Becker absolutely exposed Matthews that game, and I do think that is a weak point for us because Matthew has been getting exposed most of the season, especially against those wide receiver twos. So if they see that on film, I do think that might cost us some games.
It
in
could.
my opinion.
It could. Really, I think the biggest takeaway is that Ohio State finally played a team that really matched their caliber on both sides of the ball. Indiana, just because the name, Indiana, you wouldn't think. But with what Curt Cignetti's been able to do, we've talked about it already. This is the best Indiana we might see because this is all of the James Madison players finally at their full potential that he brought over.
They're all gone next year.
It will be intriguing to see how it continues with Cignetti after this year. But all those guys, D'Angelo Pons, Aiden Fisher, some of these other good defensive players all came with him from James Madison. And one thing you can say about Curt Cignetti, he develops well. Bryant Haynes, their defensive coordinator, he was a name who was brought up in the Toledo head coaching search. He's going to be a head coach somewhere eventually. He's one of the future stars in college football and the coaching scene. What he's done at Indiana is nothing short of exceptional. For me, I think the biggest concern I have for Ohio State is the guard play, is Tegra Shabola. It is keeping Sayan upright because he doesn't have that Will Howard ability to run out the pocket. He can occasionally, but he's not Will Howard. Will Howard would run the ball. Sayan is more of a Dwayne Haskins, C.J. Stroud, pass-first quarterback in this system. So it will be intriguing if he continues to get the pressure. Add him in the playoffs, it might be a pretty short-lived playoff for Ohio State. And A&M and Miami both have very, very good defensive fronts. So
They do.
Cassius Howell at A&M, you have Reuben Bain Jr., who might be the best individual prospect on the defensive line in the entire country going into the NFL draft this year, probably in 2026. So Ohio State's got their hand cut out for them, and it will be intriguing to see what happens. Since we're speaking about that matchup, Texas A&M Miami, college football playoff rankings, officially official. Notre Dame, who was ahead of Miami the entire time, all season, even after losing to Miami because of Miami's 2 losses that ended up coming between Louisville and SMU. They get to the final week, and they make the right decision. The problem is, it should have been like 4 or 5 weeks ago that Miami was ahead of them.
Yeah. The way the committee handled this whole thing, they pick and choose, and we talked about it on Monday. I mean, they pick and choose who gets docked and who doesn't. Alabama loses 28-7 in their conference championship game. They don't move down a single spot. BYU loses 34-7 in their conference championship game, and they moved down a couple spots. It didn't make any sense to me how, like, I get it. Like, the networks are so embedded in the college football playoff, and ESPN and the SEC and ACC are all on ESPN, and so they were always going to get some teams in. Um, but it's the way how they did it. Like, I don't feel bad for Notre Dame because at the end of the day, you played two teams, you lost both of them. I don't care about this historic 10-game stretch that their AD was talking about. You played nobody. I mean, Southern Cal is okay, I guess, but that's nothing. That's not a great win. It's not.
It's a good win. It's not
It's
great.
it's a good win. It's not a great win at all. Um, it's the fact that they had Notre Dame above Miami for all this time, and they kind of used BYU as like a sacrificial lamb because they were in between them the entire time. And then now that BYU lost, they were put, neck and neck, and they had to put Miami in over Notre Dame. But it's like, well, why didn't you just do it from the get-go if you thought Miami was better? Why didn't you just have them above Notre Dame? I know Miami had a stretch where they lost two games I mean, they lost to SMU, solid team. They lost to Louisville, solid team. Not great losses, but at the end of the day, they had the same record. They had damn near the same strength of schedule and, rankings and everything.
Had like four common opponents too, and Miami actually beat every common opponent by more points than Notre Dame did even.
Yeah, and the main thing is Miami beat Notre Dame. That should be what matters.
Yes.
I don't care about how, we're a different team after week one. Yeah, you might be, but that doesn't take away from the loss. You might also be a different team from losing 41-40 against Texas A&M at home. I don't care. You lost the game. Exactly. It's a season. It's not based off of if you're playing great in your last week of the season. It's based off of your overall record and what you've done this entire season. And Notre Dame lost two teams that, I mean, they also lost at home too. That doesn't help either. Miami lost at home to Louisville. That was a bad loss, but Louisville's a formidable team. But the thing that went against Notre Dame was they legitimately played nobody. And the teams that they played that were solid, Miami played too. The only one they didn't was USC. And while Notre Dame did beat USC, USC is what, I mean, they're okay. I mean, they were a top 20 team, but they were like 20 or 19. Notre Dame was always going to win that game. And I don't want to hear about how, the whole thing with them opting out of a bowl game is just they're acting like a bunch of pussies. And I don't want to, I don't want to rehash it because everybody's talked about it now. And it's the fact that, you're acting like this when you have seniors who probably maybe wanted to play one last bowl game before they were done. You have CJ Carr, who's a true freshman. You could have got him some snaps against BYU, who's a very good team. Would have been a really good bowl matchup.
Probably the best bowl matchup of the whole bowl season.
It for sure would have. No way it was not.
Yeah, and now you're not doing that because you want to act like a bunch of you-know-whats. And you want to basically just take your football and go home. You want to cry like a bunch of pussies, and you want to just leave. So I don't feel sorry for Notre Dame at all because that's how they act. And if they're going to act like that, then no, you don't deserve to be in the playoff. And while I do think Notre Dame would have been one of the better teams in the playoff, you didn't. You lost the first two games of your season. You can't start out 0-2, and especially when you don't have a conference to join. Yep. You don't have a conference championship. If you're an independent school, it's going to be hard to get in anyway. And if you're 10-2, there's better teams out there. I mean, Miami beat you. You lost. So, rest up for next season because you're not playing in your bowl game and you might lose your head coach. So the whole thing this was handled was ridiculous, but it's been talked about. And Notre Dame, they were a good team, but they didn't deserve it. Their record and them being able to cherry pick their schedules. Yeah. I mean, even next year they don't play anybody either. Like, you got to play tough teams in order to make the playoffs. You got to have a couple of good wins. Now, their couple of good wins were USC and Pitt. Yeah. Miami's was Notre Dame and Pitt. So they beat you. That's a much better win, and they beat the same team that you put on this like resume. Game day was there. I mean, Miami beat Pitt pretty badly too. It was what, 38-7?
38-7, yeah.
38-7, and then Notre Dame won 37-15.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like Notre Dame has nobody to blame but themselves. They have nobody to blame but losing the first 2 games of the season. You just can't do that, especially if you're independent. If you're in a conference, then maybe if you can win out and then win your conference championship, with the committee picking and choosing when conference championships matter, you have a shot. But you don't, because you think you're high and mighty. You're Notre Dame. Think you're all this when you're not. And at the end of the day, I agree with what the committee did. I just don't agree with how they did it. So.
I was going to say, the way the committee actually handled the process was the biggest shit show of all time, and the biggest reason why Notre Dame fans have a legit gripe, because they were blue-balled for the last month and a half, thinking they were pretty much locked into the playoff. And I think Pete Bavacqua, their athletic director, has a very good point when he's arguing that they were ranked ahead of them all the way until the very end.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they never had Miami that high to begin with because of their losses when they came later. And they ranked Notre Dame too high while also ranking Miami too low is what happened. And then you come and settle it. Like, what changed? Nothing changed at all this weekend for them to finally put Miami in the playoff over Notre Dame.
No, nothing.
Nothing at all happened, except the fact that they're now ranked next to each other.
The media got to them. I think that was another thing, too.
It did.
Harping on them about it.
That's 100% what happened. To me, the playoff committee is the biggest joke, and is probably not even going to exist starting next year. At least televised. They shouldn't televise it at all, because Hunter Yurachek looked like an absolute imbecile on TV for the last month.
Just him explaining it was like, what are you doing? Like, him explaining that Alabama situation to me, and I was like, you're a moron. Because you cannot wait this long, especially them losing by 3 touchdowns to Georgia and not even dropping them at all.
He explained his explanation for them staying.
But yeah, it was, we're going to devalue conference championships. We're not going to value conference championships because they were able to play another game. Well, then why'd you move down BYU?
Exactly.
You moved down BYU and they got blown out. Alabama looked like a bunch of bitches against Georgia.
Yeah. They had negative 3 rushing yards in the second half. -3. They didn't score at all in the second half.
That was a whole game.
Team making the playoffs. Like, it's. I mean, dude, like they pick and choose what matters, and it's at separate points. And college football needs a lot of restructuring as a whole.
Agree.
I mean, they need to the whole stuff before conference championship weeks with the coaching cycle, with early, national signing day. They need to just They just need to wait until the season's over, because they need a structure. They need to figure stuff out. They need to figure NIL stuff out, because now you got teams like Penn State who are paying $27 million for a team that went 6-6. Like, you got to figure out, you got to see if there's a cap of how much you can spend in NIL. You got to figure out if there's a floor. You got to figure out how much players are being paid. It's just, college football is a joke right now. It is.
I agree with that. And the fact that they had to get GMs for college teams is insane.
Yeah.
That's when NIL has gone through the roof. And with the college committee, though, something like this happened in 2023, if you guys remember, Florida State in Alabama. Georgia lost, obviously, in the conference championship. They dropped down 3. You got Florida State, 13-0. They beat, 3 ranked teams that season by a good margin. Obviously, they lost Jordan Travis because of ACL and MCL tear. Don't make the college football playoffs. And they put 10-2 Alabama in just to lose to Michigan, which, don't get me wrong, that was a good game. 27-20 overtime. Really good game. But you cannot do that to a team that's 13-0 and won the conference. It's like when they put Cincinnati in when they were undefeated and won the AAC, the American Conference. And now with this system, you're just basically fucking over the teams that did good in the regular season but didn't make the conference championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like with the BYU situation. Now, in my opinion, Do I think they should have made it? No. I mean, yeah, they got absolutely manhandled by Texas Tech both of the times they played, but you cannot put Alabama in again. In my opinion, I think they're super biased towards Alabama because of their resume.
They're also super biased to Alabama because they're the TV deals. The TV deals play a major part in this.
Yep.
You had ESPN lobbying for the SEC. You had ESPN lobbying for the ACC because they have contracts with them.
Yeah.
And you had like them kind of diminishing the Big Ten because the Big Ten's on Fox. The Big 12 played a role because ABC and ESPN. Yeah, like it's just what's going to happen. And do I think that the SEC deserve to have more teams? Yeah, I do. But
I agree with that.
you gotta figure out a system that works, because with the playoffs, I'm sorry, I don't need to see James Madison going to Eugene because that's going to be over in the second quarter, and I don't need to see Tulane going to Ole Miss because they're going to be over at halftime. We've already seen that. Yeah, exactly. They already played this season, and it was a 35-point blowout. I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch James Madison in Oregon because that game's going to be over. It's going to be a terrible game.
You don't want to watch Alonzo Barnett III absolutely ball against this elite Oregon defense?
Well,
you're not trying to watch Wayne Knight run over him.
Of 14 points, and Oregon will win 45-10 or 40.
You are a Group of 5 hater. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not a Group of 5 hater, but I want good playoff games. Seeing Notre Dame at Oregon would be great. If Notre Dame at Oregon would be a phenomenal game. BYU at Ole Miss or something like that. Those would be great games.
Yeah, I agree. But it gives those Group 5 teams a chance to actually make a run. Like, obviously, what happened with Boise State. They could have won that game easily, in my opinion. But they costed themselves over because they just kept beating Genty.
See, I don't think the Group of 5 will ever have a chance to win a playoff game like that.
I know.
Win a playoff game, yes, but win the playoff, no.
Win the playoffs, no. I think if they do, I think
then what's the point of having them in?
Just a chance, just to see.
They will never have a shot of winning the playoffs. What is the point?
I've explained the point. I've explained the point on this show before, and I will keep on saying it. As long as the Group of 5 and the Power 4 are all collectively in the FBS, they're technically on the same playing field, even though we know they're really not on the same playing field, technically.
I agree with that.
So they have to earn that shot until proven otherwise. And split up. Yes.
NIL.
Yes.
Especially because of NIL.
What's the point of the playoffs?
If every single team has a chance to make the playoffs, I do think that's an even level for non-Power 5 teams to get into the playoffs.
But your best players, if you're a Group of 5 team, are going to leave. They're going to go to a higher school like Oregon, Ohio State. They're going to go to an Alabama or Georgia. There's no Cincinnati team from 4 years ago.
I'm just saying Quinyon Mitchell didn't leave Toledo.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Quinyon Mitchell didn't leave.
Quinyon Mitchell is a very, 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 very rare exception. But you're not going to make the playoffs with one super good cornerback. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You got players who want money. You got players who want to transfer.
With Ashley Genty last year.
And dude, like, what's the point of the playoffs if we're having, Group of 5s? I love the Group of 5. I do. I think there should be a Group of 5 playoffs because I think that would be really interesting. But I don't need to see them in the college football playoff because you're never going to see a Group of 5 team make a run. You're not. You saw Boise State last year, one of the great Group of 5 teams in the past couple of years, get dominated by Penn State. You see James Madison, who's going to get blown out at Oregon. You see Tulane, who already lost by 35 to Ole Miss before.
You're lowballing it. It was 30. It was 38. It was 38. No.
38, even better. Yeah, even worse. So, like, I get it. The Group of 5 deserves a chance. I don't think they do because we need the 12 best teams in the playoff. At the end of the day, put the 12 best teams in the playoff. I want some good playoff matchups. I want to see Notre Dame at Oregon or Notre Dame at Ole Miss and a BYU at Oregon or something like that. Those would be much better games because the point spread in the James Madison Oregon game is like 20.5. I'm sorry.
There's that SEC hypothetical conversation right there. No, I'm just kidding though. But in reality, oh no, I know, but you're throwing out point spread. You're throwing out point spreads here. No, just hypothetically, it is true.
Vegas is normally not wrong, and I'm sorry. James
True,
Madison
Vegas.
is a cool story. Who
Yes.
have they beaten? Who has James Madison beaten this season?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Nobody.
Because they lost to
That
Louisville.
was terrible.
Give me a sec. Let me look at their schedule while you guys are debating.
Tulane would be the one that I kind of understand because they did have some solid good wins.
They beat Duke. Yeah.
The American Athletic was very good this year.
Yeah.
I get Tulane to a fact, but I don't like the matchup because we've already seen this
That's
before.
true. James Madison's best.
I mean, they beat Washington State.
James
Yeah.
Madison.
Yeah.
James Madison did lose to Louisville 28-14. I think that's a quality loss. If you want me to argue a quality loss argument.
Quality losses. No. I don't think the group of 5 deserves a chance unless they're a top 12 team.
It's
Unless
fair.
they're a top 12 team, they shouldn't get in. That doesn't
And see, here's the thing.
Top 12 team, that doesn't mean that they will never have a shot.
Yeah.
If you're good enough to make the playoff, then make it. If you are a good group of 5 team, go out there, play good teams, win them, and then go 12-1, 13-0, and just say we deserve to make it, and you will. But I don't need to see James Madison, who's beaten nobody, Michigan School the Blind for 12 straight weeks, go to Eugene and get the doors blown off of them. And I'm supposed to be excited about that?
Yes.
It's gonna be a terrible game.
It's going to be fun to watch.
No,
Football
exactly.
it is, though.
Dude, James Madison is hyped to play them, though. That's
College football is college football.
I'm not going to watch that. I'll pay attention to it on my phone, but I don't. It'll be 14-0.
Die-hard football fans will watch anything that comes their way.
I'm watching that game.
I am a die-hard football fan, but I'm not going to watch ass matchups.
Bro, it's a night game. You got to watch it.
No, I don't.
It's a beautiful game on TNT. Obviously, TNT's getting the short end of the stick this year with their games because they're getting Ole Miss, Tulane, and Oregon James Madison.
With Alabama, Oklahoma. I mean, that'll probably be a good game, but another rematch. Do I really want to see a rematch?
But that was by 2 points. That was by 2 points at Bama. And now it's at Oklahoma. I do think Oklahoma will win again, but I do think it'll be close again. If Ty Simpson actually has a decent game.
Well, that was the whole big thing, and I did want to get into this real quick. Realistically, we have these arguments, but we all feel the same because we all love college football. We want what's best for it, and everyone's best is a little different. And until everything really kind of evens it out and there's more structure to the sport, which this sport, I think we all agree, is the least structured sport out of all sports, period, in any country.
Yep.
There is no structure whatsoever.
Horse racing is not structured either. That's another one that's kind of down the shit, but nobody cares or wants to talk about.
What is it?
Racing, so
horse racing, bro. Get out of here with horse racing.
I did want to ask real quick, which matchup are we looking forward to the most out of any of these first? I mean, there's really 2 that stand out, of course, but it's Oklahoma, Bama, Texas A&M, Miami.
There's one matchup that I'm excited.
I'm excited for Miami versus Texas A&M.
What I'm excited for. Yeah,
that's the only really one that, in my opinion, really matters because obviously you got Marcus Reed. He dropped out of the race for Heisman, which that kind of surprised me. I'm not gonna lie.
Marcel
Reed. I thought they would have invited him, but I think they dropped him because after that Texas loss.
He also hasn't been playing well recently.
No.
The game against South Carolina really hurt. I mean, he had a awful first half, and then
the second half, But no, I'm really excited about that.
He was up there too. Yeah. He was up there for a good amount of the year, but the last few weeks. But I mean, Texas A&M and Miami's about it, dude.
I'm looking forward to Oklahoma, Alabama.
The other games, I mean, 2 of them are going to be blowouts, and one of them I already seen before, which it was a good game.
Really good.
But I'm not all hype and excited for Oklahoma, Alabama. It's an SEC game. I've already seen it. I want to see
I'm looking forward to it because who's going to be playing Indiana and which team it is playing Indiana. I think one matchup could be a little bit closer for them.
Indiana.
I do think if Oklahoma wins, I think that will be the one that's actually closer than Alabama because Alabama's offense has been falling apart like crazy, but their defense has honestly been keeping them in the game.
And that's exactly what Oklahoma does, though, but at a much better level.
Way better level.
So.
Alabama. I mean, Oklahoma's a great defense. Alabama's defense is okay, but both their offenses have been sputtering recently.
Yeah. They both really don't have a good rush either. Both
I
of
don't
their
know.
rushes are terrible.
I'll be excited for the quarterfinals because that's when the games really start. The first round is kind of average. It's not great. I mean the Miami Texas A&M game will be good. I'm excited for that. But other than that, it's going to be 2 blowouts in a matchup I've already seen.
Unironically, I do feel like on paper that the 2 big games are better than the matchups we had last year in the first round.
Yeah.
So
Last year
I agree with
was all blowouts.
So
Yeah, it was.
I think we might have one that's close. I think one might be close. But here's the thing, right? If it's blowouts, it's okay because some teams earn the right to get there based off their structure. The right teams are there. And so that's what happens.
I have to be excited for it.
That's fair. And that's a good point. On to the final B&B poll rankings. They have been released now. They are out for everyone to see and enjoy. But we have our final rankings right here to release on the show. Number 20, starting off with the Tulane Green Wave, winning the American Conference. It's a shame it wasn't North Texas. We were incredibly biased towards our Mean Green this season. However, it's okay. John Summerall and the Tulane Green Wave are number 20. Number 19, first appearance, I believe, this season in the B&B poll, and the only one, the Arizona Wildcats at 19. Noah Fafita and Brett Brennan out there on the West Coast, slept on 9-3 team that no one has talked about all season long is the Arizona Wildcats. Number 18, I know Spencer might fully disagree with this, but that's what happens with our model. Number 18 is the James Madison Dukes, ahead of Tulane at number 18. Number 17, the Michigan Wolverines. And 16, the USC Trojans. They do adjust up a couple spots, both. Number 15, the Utah Utes, staying steady at 15. Number 14, for some reason this week, the model said Texas and Vandy should flip-flop. So Texas is down to 14, and Vandy at number 13. Number 12, the BYU Cougars. They do drop one spot, but they don't drop a lot in the B&B poll. Number 11, the Alabama Crimson Tide. They drop 3 spots or 2 spots from last week. Number 10, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Should be in the top 10, but things happen that don't go your way. Number 9, the Miami Hurricanes. They jump up ahead of Notre Dame in the final rankings. Number 8, we have Ole Miss dropping 2 spots from last week. Number 7, the Oklahoma Sooners. Number 6, the Texas A&M Aggies. Number 5, Oregon. Not a lot of change up towards the top, except at the big spot, though. Number 4, we still have Texas Tech. Number 3, we have Ohio State. Ohio State drops down 2 spots after losing to Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. They go to number 3. Georgia at number 2, and number 1, the Indiana Hoosiers, atop the B&B poll, the final B&B poll of the season. Moving on to our college football picks of the week. We have bowl season starting. We have a great rivalry game, and we're going to have to start with this beautiful rivalry game. I don't know, I hear some background noise somewhere. As Army-Navy. Navy minus 6.5 points. Favorite. We'll start with Jacob. Jacob, who you got?
For me, I got Navy. In my opinion, they're just the better team on paper. With Horova coming back, being his senior year, he's been really good on the run. Passing's been a little iffy, obviously, but Navy's not a passing school. They are a running school. They have been for the past 3-4 years. So I got Navy.
Yeah, I agree. I'll take Navy. Horvath from Hilliard, Ohio, and Navy's just the better team, but better record, better team. Go Navy, beat Army. Sorry.
Horvath's actually been fairly decent throwing the ball for Navy standards actually this year when they've done it. I agree with you guys. I think Navy wins. I think Navy barely covers the spread because this game's always close no matter what it feels like. I agree. Go Navy, beat Army. First bowl game pick of the year. We're going to the bucked up Los Angeles Bowl between The Boise State Broncos, winner of the Mountain West, taking on Damon Williams and the Washington Huskies. Washington, 9.5-point favorites.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I do think that spread should be a little closer because I do think in the last couple of weeks, Boise State has looked a lot better with what's his name? With Maddox.
Maddox
But
Matson.
Maddox Maxon. But in my opinion, Damon, he's just a better quarterback, just for being a sophomore. That run game too, just a three-headed monster with Damon, Coleman, and Boston. I mean, in my opinion, I'm picking Washington, but I do think it'll be by at least 3 points. I think it'll be a close game no matter what, but I have Washington.
Yeah, this is the Chris Peterson Bowl.
It is.
I'm gonna go with. I agree. I'm gonna go with Washington. I love this Washington offense. I know they kind of sputtered down lately with their defense, who I still think is better than what it could be. But I think that they'll beat Boise State. Boise State's all right, but they win the Mountain West every year, so it just doesn't matter. They
really
always have a good team. And I'm also mad that New Mexico didn't make the Mountain West title game.
They should have. Jason Eck deserved it.
They should have. They should have.
So yeah, give me Washington.
I have Boise State covering the spread. I'm going to put that out there for knowledge. But I said, you know what? I'm going outright. Give me Smurf Turf. Give me the Smurf Turfs. Maddox Madsen and the Boise State Broncos are going to beat the Washington Huskies in the Bucked Up LA Bowl. Pure knowledge right there. Just want you to know. I'm getting that right. I got to get these wins somehow. Spencer is now 11 games ahead. He's dropped a game. He has dropped a game, folks. So at least we are both still over 500 on the season. That's what matters more. We know ball. Next bowl game, the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Wow. Who doesn't love this? I do.
Yeah.
Troy, 3.5 point favorites over the Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
I mean, both teams obviously they lost their conference games. Heartbreaker to both. But I've only really watched one of the games, and that was Jacksonville's game against Kansas State. In my opinion, they look decent, but like I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Troy. With the spread. I think they'll cover that spread. So I got Troy in this matchup.
Roll Cox. Go Cox.
We know how you feel. We know how you feel about those, Spencer. I'm going with the Fighting John Summerall's Trojans. Unironically, the Trojans versus Cox. What a matchup. Elite game.
Cox normally win, though.
Cox normally win because Trojans sometimes they break.
Trojans cover.
Trojans cover.
Trojans cover the Cox.
They Trojans cover, but they could break. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Cure Bowl, as we have Old Dominion versus South Florida. Old Dominion's quarterback Colton Joseph hitting the transfer portal. Probably going to be one of the most underrated and highly coveted quarterbacks in the transfer portal. Statistically, he's a very good quarterback. He's going to go to a nice Power 4 school. And then South Florida hiring Brian Hartline away from Ohio State to be their next head coach. He obviously won't coach in this bowl game for South Florida. But I don't know
honestly
how close this game will really be.
Yeah, honestly, it's not really hard pick for me. I'm picking South Florida.
Same. I'll go with them because of Brian Hartline. So
I'm rolling South Florida as well. I think Old Dominion losing their quarterback will probably change that for me. I thought it could have been a closer game before. As Old Dominion and South Florida at the beginning of the year both looked like very elite group of 5 schools who could have really fought for what Tulane and James Madison ended up having.
Yeah.
Second to last bowl game we have on the slate, the 68 Ventures Bowl. Who doesn't love these elite sponsors that people drop millions of dollars to not make money on to be in bowl games? As we have the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, the Fighting Billy Napiers, taking on the Fighting Joe Flaccos and the Delaware Blue Hens. Their first bowl game at the FBS level. Louisiana's 3-point favorites going into this game. Jacob.
Give me Delaware. I love Nick. How do you say his last name? You say that last name. Michiuchi or whatever. He's
Mini
been
Coochie?
really good for.
Mini
Yeah,
Coochie.
Mini Coochie. He's been really good for Delaware. I just love that name. But I played for them in CFP. Their Dynasty. I just love their jerseys. Give me Delaware.
Who doesn't love Coochie? Give me Delaware.
Rumor has it Troy and Jacksonville State are fighting for Mini Coochie for next season. I'm going with the Ragin' Cajuns. I think they're just a better team. Yeah, that's what I got. Who doesn't love the Ragin' Cajun logo? Come
Logan
on.
doesn't like Coochie. I hate to say it.
No, because I love the Xbox Bowl. Rest in peace, Bahamas Bowl, okay? That's our final bowl game of the slate for this week. We're picking the Xbox Bowl, playing at the Star in Frisco, Texas, facility for the Dallas Cowboys. Amazing. As we have Ryan Beard and the Missouri State Bears, right? They're the Bears.
Yep.
I think they are.
They're the Bears.
Versus Butch Jones and the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Missouri State 2.5-point favorites.
Missouri State was my first rebuild in college football 26. I'll take the Bears.
I will take Arkansas State. I don't really got much explaining to do. I will just take them.
I agree with Spencer. I'm rolling with Ryan Beard and the Missouri State Bears. Thing about Missouri State and Ryan Beard, he is going to be, in like 5 to 7 years, a Power 4 head coach somewhere. So I feel for Missouri State fans eventually. But you have one hell of a coach in Ryan Beard.
He is a really good coach. He is a really good coach. First year FBS, 7-5, bowl game. Like, amazing.
Moving on to the NFL here, before we do. You know the B&B water's coming back out. Sip number 3 of the show. That's some good stuff. You can find it at your nearest tap. I just want you guys to know. Subscribe to the channel, please. Okay? It's not beneficial just for us, but it's even more beneficial for you guys at home. It's free. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay to watch this content. You don't have to pay to watch Spencer type on his phone while I do this nice little promo. You don't need to pay for it at all. You just need to subscribe. And you need to hit that push notification bell so that way you can be up to date when all of our new videos drop. You should subscribe here, but you should also follow on Spotify. You should also follow on Apple Podcasts. That way you could listen to us as well whenever your ears desire. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Down in the description below. Go do it right now. In fact, pause the video. Are you paused? Good. Go subscribe. Go follow us. Beautiful content coming your way. Question to you both, are the Chiefs cooked?
Yep. Oh, 1,000%. There's no way they're not. They got exposed by the best defense I think we've seen this decade, in my opinion. This defense for the Texans is unreal. Like,
have you watched the Cleveland Browns defense 2 years ago? No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
who gave up like 40 points to the Texans in the playoff game.
Yeah, but this pressure that they've just been creating against teams have been insane, and the secondary has just been outstanding. With like he's been playing amazing. Like there's really they're the reason why the Texans are still, in my opinion, above 500.
Texans,
yes.
Yeah, they're legit. Their offense worries me a little bit. There's still there's an issue with CJ Stroud, and something's wrong with that offense. But that defense is going to keep them in games. Their defensive line is just absolutely nasty with Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter. Those guys are just game wreckers, and they got to Patrick Mahomes so many times. And the Chiefs' offense just isn't right. Travis Kelce really isn't that great. I mean, he's been having drop issues. They haven't seemed in sync, even with them getting Rashee Rice back. And he has been playing well. They just need more offense from everybody else, and they haven't gotten it. The O-line is not very good this year. They've given up a ton of pressures. The Chiefs are cooked. And while I still think their defense is solid, their offense, there's something wrong with their offense. And on the Texans side, I agree. Texans defense is unreal. One of the better defense the past couple years. And now you're seeing it to where their secondary with Derek Stingley Jr. and Jalen Petrie and that two, whatever that Jordan 2 or however the hell you say his last name.
Yeah.
They've been phenomenal and good for the Texans.
Alex Shazier, like he's been outstanding too. Just like they're just as a group collectively, I think they are the best in the NFL. Like they're just playing outstanding.
They are. I think they actually are statistically the number one defense still in the NFL
they are.
right now.
They deserve it. 100%.
They do.
They deserve it.
Houston is first. Really, the question was meant to be Chiefs. Are they cooked, or is Houston actually finding themselves? I think it's both.
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 Because
for sure.
Travis Kelce, man.
Something's wrong.
It's just not him. It's Mahomes. Mahomes has looked so inaccurate. It's like I don't know what.
That final interception, I can't blame on Patrick Mahomes, though.
But just still 3 interceptions. Like, I mean, that's not like him at all.
No.
And he led also that game. He led the team in rushing with 59 rushes, like 59 rushing yards.
He's been their leading rusher all season. I think he is the leading rusher. Either him or Kareem Hunt is.
It's Kareem Hunt, 545.
Yeah, but thing is, last year in the postseason run they had, he was their leading rusher, and that's a big reason. You look at Alabama and Kansas City, even though two totally different spectrums, college football, NFL, their biggest issue is they can't really run the ball that well. No. And you've kind of seen them sputter because of it. And with Kansas City, it's just, not being able to run the ball, I think has been a big issue, really the last few years. Kareem Hunt's kind of balanced it out a little bit more this year. But their pass protection is not good. Josh Simmons has been hit or miss as a rookie this year out of Ohio State. He's had some very good moments. He's had some very bad moments blocking up front there. And the rest of their offensive line, I think losing Joe Tooney was a massive loss that no one talked about with them trading him away to Chicago. They didn't really replace him that well.
Yeah. I was going to comment off of that. Like, he was a huge piece in that O-line in the last few years. Like, I mean, just like that guard spot for them have been really good. And then after just losing him, they just kind of just been bad. Like, with Trey Smith, he's been good. I mean, Creed Humphrey, he's been outstanding. He's like one of the best centers in the league, in my opinion. But with losing that guard spot, I mean, that just screws Mahomes because of how good Joe Thuney was. And now you go look at the Bears; they're second in rushing after acquiring him.
Yeah, their O-line is really good.
Like the Bears' O-line has improved dramatically since they got Joe Thuney. So I don't know why in the world they ever got traded him. Like, honestly, like that was the biggest mistake I think Kansas City has done this season was getting rid of Joe Thuney.
I agree. I think it's really affected them. I wonder if it was age reasons or money reasons. It had to have been something like that.
It probably was money reasons because after they traded him, they paid Trey Smith, highest guard in the league, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing that they could have done. Because now you look at the Bears' rushing attack, and it's second with DeAndre Swift. Like,
forgetting about the lore of Kyle Monungai. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kyle Monungai.
Him and Swift recently in the last couple of weeks both have been popping. Specifically for those fantasy owners out there who have somehow both.
Well, Monungai messed up my Bengals team. Let me tell you, that was a game. 143 rushing yards against that Bengals O-line or D-line, just that defense. I knew it was going to happen. I knew I feel like after that game they gave him more exposure. He had 26 carries for 176 yards.
Yeah.
With like, if they didn't start playing him more after that, I think that would have been a huge mistake. And that showed how good of a player he can be for that with Ben Johnson's offense. Just like that 1-2 power punch that they had in Detroit.
Yeah. I really think for Kansas City's sake, going back to Kansas City, you look at the playoff, every single team that's in front of them has a tiebreaker over them. They're almost kind of locked out unless they go on a run here to end the season. No, they pretty much have to win out.
Yeah, they do have to win out. Baltimore has to at least lose 1 or 2 more games. In my opinion, that AFC South division with the three teams, Jacksonville, Indy, and Houston, I mean, like, I think all three of those will make the playoffs. Unless, obviously, with Indy's sake, RIP to Daniel Jones.
Phillip Rivers,
Hey,
absolute cinema.
I'm telling you, he's gonna. It might sound a little delusional, but I think if Phillip Rivers will start with Riley Leonard having that knee injury, I do think he's just gonna let it rip.
Jared Goff is no longer the least mobile quarterback in the NFL.
Phillip Rivers is about to win NFL Comeback Player of the Year just because he's going to pull a Joe
like
Flacco.
4 games to go.
Yeah, 4 games to go. I think he'll win. I mean, with
Michael Pittman Jr. fantasy owners are just going to enjoy this playoff run for them because he's just going to feast.
But
Phillip Rivers is going to give them
the 4-game stretch that Colts have is tough. They're at Seattle. Then they are home against the 49ers, home against Jacksonville, and then they're at the Texans. If that's not a tougher 4-game stretch that I've seen in this season, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Because holy, I think they might. I think they go 2-2 in that stretch, right? But I don't know. It just matters how Phillip Rivers plays, honestly, against the Seattle defense.
Sticking in the AFC West real quick. The LA Chargers beating the Eagles on Monday Night Football. 4 turnovers for Jalen Hurts. 5, really, if you want to include 2 on one play.
Yeah, they counted that, actually.
They did, yes. Jalen Hurts, yikes. LA Chargers?
He lost me my fantasy game this week, man.
0.4 points, was that correct, Spence? 0.4.
That's great. That he got exposed. Like, I mean,
I think Spencer's baseball side's kicking in right now. That's why he's down on his phone.
No,
I've seen
a big baseball.
That's why I mentioned that. I saw it myself. Yeah, for people, we are a football show, but Spencer's also a diehard baseball fan. Breaking news: Pete Alonso's going to the Orioles.
That is absolutely insane, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Pete Alonso.
Ryan Mountcastle. I guess he's dead.
Yeah. So Pete Alonso's going to the Orioles.
No.
But Chargers, how about them being 9-4 with all the injuries they've had on that offensive line? No Joe Alt, no Rashawn Slater. Amari and Hampton's finally back for them, which helps out that running game. But I forget the running back who has Vidal. I forget his first name. Kamari Vidal. Kamari Vidal. He was really stout in the absence of Amari and Hampton. Having Amari and Hampton back has really helped them out. But their receiving core with Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, I mean, what the Chargers have done is stayed afloat. My preseason AFC West champion will still be in the playoffs, even with all their injuries.
Yeah.
That's one of the best jobs, I think, all season, just because of losing out on your all-pro talent tackles practically most of the season. And what they've been able to do has been very impressive for me for the Chargers.
An underrated guy that a lot of people mislead is Odori Gatson, rookie out of Syracuse. He, in the last 3 to 4 weeks for the Chargers, have stepped up tremendously, especially when they keep doubling McConkey. You have him right over the seam, and he's been amazing. Also with after the catch, like, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen a rookie step up this season this big with all the injuries than Gatson.
Yeah,
he's been playing outstanding. Like, and especially like with one of my friends, he's a Chargers fan. He picked him up in fantasy. He got him 44 points. He's been absolutely amazing with that Chargers core. I do think, like, next year, the whole core, like tight end and receivers. Obviously, got Trey Harris. In my opinion, they got to give him the ball more. He's good when they get him the ball. Just that overall receiving core, and he's also a good blocking tight end. They're gonna improve even more. I mean, just like what they're doing, even with the injuries, like with that O-line, their O-line is 31 out of 32 with the 2 tackles injuries, and they're still winning games. I don't know how they're doing it, but the Chargers are
unreal.
Scary. It's unreal.
It's unreal. I want to quickly get in with all of our favorite teams as well before we get to our weekly picks here. let's start with the Browns real quick. Shedeur Sanders, a great game. A very, very great game for this rookie. First, here's a stat for you. First Cleveland Browns quarterback in Browns history to have 300-plus passing yards, 3-plus passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown in a game. You can say whatever, it's Tennessee. I understand that. I know they're the worst roster in the NFL is Tennessee. I get that. And I understand that Cleveland also is just... I don't know what's happened with the defense recently. They've just kind of given up. Myles Garrett's still getting sacks. He's now 20 sacks on the season. Still has 4 games to go to get that NFL record. Yeah. But what Shedeur Sanders is doing, for me, is great because I think he is giving Cleveland some time and a chance to get other things in order. Shedeur Sanders just might be the guy. Long term. Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Why not?
Why not? I mean,
perfect timing in Cleveland.
I was really happy.
Watch right here. You can't see it, but watch right here. Sorry. All right, keep going, Jacob. Sorry.
I was really happy when they started him, honestly, because I think they made a mistake of starting Dylan Gabriel. I don't think he was really good of a quarterback in college, and also because he's a lefty. I don't like lefty quarterbacks. They're not that good.
What do you have against lefties, man?
Oh, my gosh, they're terrible. I mean, I hate playing them in Madden. I know it's Madden, but I hate playing them in Madden. They're terrible. And honestly,
respect the mic pick.
Just with, I don't know, he just seemed so uncomfortable when he was playing with the Browns. And then when you throw in Shedeur, obviously what happened with the Ravens, that was not good. That was a terrible situation with them. But then the next game, he looked comfortable. He knew when to scramble. Obviously, he had some bad throws. I mean, that's what rookies do. But he looked poised. He looked really good. And then now against the Titans, don't get me wrong, that defense the defense is a little iffy for Tennessee, but that is their whole team, is basically their defense. Because you got Jeffrey Simmons, Snead. I mean, and they're still good, defense-wise. But he exposed them. He played absolutely out of his mind. So I do think now they had to take a different direction with their draft pick, because everyone was thinking, oh, they're going to draft quarterback. They're going to go get a quarterback. I think they should go get another weapon.
Wide receiver, offensive tackle. That's your first round. That Jacksonville pick isn't going to be as close as you thought it would be to that first pick.
Yep.
This year, Jacksonville's actually balling. They're 9-4 right now, and they're atop the AFC South. There's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of tackles in this draft. That's what Cleveland, in my opinion, that's where they should hone in on. Get your weapon. Get your Jordan Tyson. Get your Cardinal Tate. Get your Denzel Boston.
Yep.
Get a weapon and get a tackle.
They should go get the tackle from Miami. He's been really good. Or
Francis Muigoa. They got Muigoa. Yep. You got Spencer Fano from Utah. There's a lot of other tackles in this class, too. Those guys might be picked a little too early. Say if Cleveland wants to go weapon first or tackle first, who knows? Yeah. We'll have to see. But that's where Cleveland should go. Is that way?
From Bama, I think.
Caden Proctor.
Yeah, they should get him. He's athletic.
I've had bad luck with Alabama tackles in Cleveland. I'm good. I'll pass. Shout out Jedrick Wills. I love you, but I don't. I'm good with the Bama tackle. But you're right, though. Weapon, tackle, period. That's where Cleveland needs to go in the first round. I don't care. I've seen enough of Shedeur that I would be confident in giving him the reins next year. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Cleveland because of the whole Kevin Stefanski situation.
I think he should get fired.
I think a lot of people have now switched over to that. The problem is with Cleveland, we always want someone to be fired. I think the way he's handled the Shedeur Sanders situation, though, hasn't been great.
No, it has not been great. I agree with that. With what he says to the media, even after a good game he had, not even the week before, he was still I don't know how I feel about next week. And then now he's named starter for the rest of the season. He's not media trained well, in my opinion. He's not at all. And what he's done, obviously drafting those 2 quarterbacks, that was so controversial. That was bad. So I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but whatever he's doing is kind of messing up the Browns a lot. But at the same time, Shedeur's looked amazing in the last 2 games. So I don't know.
Spencer, how about your Lions? Beating the Cowboys. You were over here enjoying that beautiful Thursday night victory against my dad's Dallas Cowboys and rubbing it in his face.
Once again,
Once
just
again.
like last year. Yeah. Offense played well. Defense did enough. I mean, Dallas is a really good offense. The defense obviously got 3 turnovers. I was able to get 3 takeaways from Dallas, and that was the major difference in the game. They scored 14 points off of turnovers, and that's what won the Lions game because they won the game by 14 points. Goff looked pretty good. He had some pressure again, but the offensive line played a little better. Run game was a little better. Wasn't amazing. They got Gibbs more in the open field in the pass game than they did in the rush game, but David Montgomery got some carries as well, had himself a decent game, had himself a touchdown as well. Yeah, I mean, losing Brian Branch to an Achilles tear sucks. He was their starting safety. He's very good. But, next guy up, their backups play pretty well. Their backups played really well against Tampa Bay when they did it, so they'll have to do it again. Kirby Joseph should be back in the next week or so. Yeah, I mean they're banged up a little bit on defense, but I'm not too worried about the defense. The defense has been playing well. The D line for the most part is healthy. Knock on wood. The linebackers are healthy. The corners. I mean, Terry Arnold's now going to be out for the rest of the season, which sucks. But they do still have Amik Robertson and DJ Reed, so you're not really losing a ton. They have Avonte Maddox, who's played well. He can play safety and he can play corner, so. I'm not too worried about it, but they got a big game against Matthew Stafford. Once again, we play the Rams every single year. And if they lose the game, just be done with the season. I don't think that just beat the Rams and let's keep going. They lose to the Rams, they're not making the playoffs. So they essentially have to just keep winning.
Yeah.
The Lions have to win out, or at least get close to it. I mean, they could obviously make the playoffs if they lose to the Rams, but like 11-6, especially with the Bears, you're going to be hoping they lose another game. And they're playing pretty decently well, so you don't know, but you got to be within a game of the Bears heading into week 18, because then that game is for a playoff spot. It's a play-in game. And that's all you got to get to. Just get to week 18, a game out of the Bears, and let's see what this team can do. But the offense is playing very well. Had a really good bounce back game after that Packers loss. They played really well against Dallas, so it was encouraging to see. But we'll see how it is against the Rams because it's going to be a tough test. So.
Yeah. And Jacob, we've had a couple other Bengals fans on this show in the past that have joined us. Bengals had a shootout against the Bills this past weekend. Had a 10-point lead at halftime. Ended up falling through in the second half. Give me your thoughts on the Bengals against the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the first half of the defense played outstanding, in my opinion. I mean, they were getting sacks, they were getting stops, they were getting fumbles. I mean, like, the defense was playing amazing. I don't know what happened in the second half. Burrow threw that pick 6. Then he threw another pick. I was like, okay, what is going on? And then I just don't know. I mean, this is pretty much how the season's been. Like, we start out great in the first half, and then just second half just falls off. Obviously, besides what happened with the Bears, I mean, I don't even want to talk about that game. But I don't know. I mean, they played great in the first half. Burrow looked good, and then just in the second, threw the pick 6, just threw another pick again. I think now, I mean, I don't know. There's still somehow a chance we could win the division with how bad the AFC North is this year, but I don't think we will, especially with how historically bad this defense has been. And just with the run game also, that's been such a huge problem with us. Chase Brown's been looking so bad. We had a total of 62 rushing yards. I mean, that's not going to get us anywhere. The run game for any NFL team is key, especially when you want to win games. If you cannot run the ball, if you cannot pound that rock, you are not going to win. No matter how good your quarterback is. If you cannot run that ball, you are not winning that game. If you can't win the line of scrimmage, you are not winning that game. That's how it works. And Jamar had an underwhelming game. He had 5 catches for 44 yards. That's something you cannot do as a top wide receiver against a okay Bills secondary. I mean, T. Higgins stepped up, but now he's back in the concussion protocol because he had symptoms Monday. So that's a huge loss for us against the Ravens. But overall, My key thing, though, with the Bengals is how consistent the quarterback play has been, even with Burrow was out. Like, Joe Flacco played obviously really well, but just with the season, obviously, it sucks. So, honestly, I think we should lose out so we can get a good pick
Yeah.
and get. I don't even know who we should get because Trey Henderson is going to be gone. But if we get another edge rusher, like what happened with the Shamar Stewart situation, that's going to fuck us again. So I do think we should get an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown has been so buns this season. He's been so like the only good game he had was against that Steelers the first time we played.
The problem with you guys is you have invested in your offensive line. It's just been bad investments, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you've spent a lot of money on that offensive line. People act like Joe Burrow, like you haven't been trying to protect Joe Burrow. You have.
No,
The
we
guys
have
they
been.
just haven't been quality enough.
No, like with Orlando, like when we got Orlando Brown, I was excited. I was like, his first season, he did good. I was like, okay, sick. He's gonna do good again. But after that, he kind of fell off. But
Spencer's leaving. We're about to do our picks.
but what's nice though is Patrick, our guard, he's been looking pretty good. He's a rookie. He's been looking pretty good. And Amario Mims, he's been really well also. Like, our right side is actually really good. Like,
Yeah.
our right side is pretty good, but we're locked into those guys. But it's just the blind side of Burrow has been bad. And we need to protect his blind side. Coming from a guy who played left tackle my whole football career, you have to protect the blind side. If you cannot protect the blind side, that's how he gets hurt.
Right.
So, I don't know. The guy we got from Denver, Ryzen, I don't know why we really haven't been playing him, which is frustrating because he's been outstanding from Denver. He was outstanding. He didn't let a single sack for 2 years. I don't know why we're not starting him. I don't know. I'm just hoping we can start Seth when he's healthy again and get rid of Karras. Karras has not been playing that well. I mean,
No.
he's a good locker guy, but he's been playing so buns. He's not a good center.
He has
So
not
I
been
don't
good.
know. I hope
I've heard
Fairchild
it-
also locks in too, so I don't know.
I've heard it from of my other Bengals friends talking about Ted Karras and the pure pain and agony that name brings them.
Oh, he's just so bad. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. He's old too. He's 32 years old.
Right. It doesn't help. But I think for Cincinnati moving forward too, you do need to do something defensively to make
I
it
agree.
like the complete lack. I shouldn't say lack because they've made picks anyway and they've gotten some pieces, but
I
it
don't
feels
wanna
like
even
a
talk about
complete
it.
lack because
Yeah.
you got T. Higgins extended, you've got Jamar Chase, you've got Joe Burrow, but you've completely neglected the defensive side of the ball for the last
Yeah.
few seasons.
I
and
agree
it's
with that.
and it's showing. It's showing the pure neglect of the
mean,
defensive side of the ball. Trey Hendrickson, what can he do?
I hope we
Oh.
can trade him before he goes into free agency because we could get a pick out of that.
I mean, Jordan
So I hope we
Battle.
can-
Jordan Battle's really your best defensive player.
Oh, I agree with that. But someone who's really stepped up though is Joseph Osaya. He's been really stepping up for this defensive line. He had the 2 sacks. He had 2 sacks not too long ago against the Steelers. Like, he's been playing well. It's just so frustrating because we spent a 15th overall pick on a guy that has been ass all season and who's been a big ass pussy about contracts. You cannot do that, and you cannot draft a guy who also had 3.5 sacks his whole career at fucking Texas A&M. I don't know why. Because he was athletic in the combine. You cannot.
He was. I was high on Shamar Stewart myself.
I did
but
not like the pick. I knew instantly once we picked him, I said, this is the worst pick we're going to make. And I told everyone that. But people were like, oh, no, it's going to be a good pick. He did really athletic in the combine. No.
he's
you cannot pick a
basically
guy
this
who's
year's
got-
Tyree Wilson is what he turned out to be.
Yeah. I agree with that. So I just don't know. Miles Murphy has also stepped up a little. Obviously, it's his second season, but I don't know. BJ Hill's also a really good guy for us. I mean, we just got him back. Jenkins, like, our D line is all right. I just hate the secondary.
Yeah.
It's so bad. DJ Turner, obviously, he's playing outstanding. He's been playing out of his mind. Dax Hill's not bad for us either. I really like him.
How do we feel about
It's just-
Cam Taylor-Britt?
I gotta get going. 6 minutes.
yeah.
just, you know.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, no, we got to get going here. Let's get to our weekly picks. Bills, Patriots, in Foxborough. Bills -1.5.
I'm taking the Bills.
It's at home. I'm taking the Patriots. I'm getting a field goal. I got the Patriots.
I agree with Jacob. I'm going with the Patriots as well. I think the Patriots will continue their absolute dominance of the AFC East here this season. Second game at Arrowhead. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs -4.5 point favorites.
Honestly,
I'll go
Give
with
me the-
Kansas. I'll go with Kansas City.
I mean, I understand it's at Arrowhead, but they just lost at Arrowhead against the Texans, and the Chargers defense is basically like third overall this year. I'm going with the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert will have a bounce back game. I think he will perform well.
I've been picking against the Chiefs a lot this season, and recently it's kind of come to my benefit. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going with the Chargers in Arrowhead to get it done. I feel like the Chargers are playing so much better than what they should be with the pieces they currently have, specifically on that offensive line. Third game, we have maybe the game I'm looking forward to most all weekend, outside of the last one, I would say. Green Bay Packers going to Mile High Stadium, taking on the Denver Broncos. The Packers are favored in this game, -2.5 points.
Yeah, I'll go with Green Bay because they just don't lose and they're annoying.
Yeah, no, give me the Broncos. I think the Broncos D-line is too good against that weird offensive line for the Packers that they got. I think Jordan Love will get exposed again, especially in that secondary. Riley Moss, he's off and on, but I do think the Broncos will have a good game against the Green Bay Packers.
I agree with Spencer. I'm going Green Bay. I feel like Denver has room to be exploited, and I feel like Green Bay always plays up or down to whoever they're playing. I think Green Bay, on paper, should be a better team than Denver. I like Green Bay a lot. Jordan Love, I think, has started to play a lot better the last couple weeks as well. I'm going with the Packers. Fourth game, a team who's kind of come out of nowhere a little bit, from the depths of hell to 6-7, as the kids would be laughing right now. Miami at Pittsburgh at what everyone will still call Heinz Stadium, which it should be. 3.5 point favorites for the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with that. Give me the Dolphins. They've been hot recently. I don't care if they played okay competition. They've won 4 games in a row. I do think the Dolphins will win. They beat the Bills in that stretch 30-13. Give me the Dolphins by 3.
Simply because the Steelers already got their loss from last week, it means it switches to a win this week. I agree with you, Spencer. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Second to last game on the slate, Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. We have to have this included for obvious reasons. However, the Bears are 7.5 point favorites. Since I'm the one here who's the Browns fan, I'll just get it out the way. Chicago's going to win. Cleveland possibly could cover, but Chicago could also win by 30. All right, Spence.
Yeah, Bears. Although I hope you guys win, but the Bears will win.
I don't care. Give me the Browns. I do think Shador will have another great season. Give me the Browns.
Final game of the week. To me, the real game of the week, outside of the last one I just said. Detroit Lions going out west to SoFi, taking on the Los Angeles Rams, two of the better teams in the NFC. Rams are 5.5 point favorites. Start with Jacob.
Obviously, I know Jared Goff hasn't been playing the best. I mean, he had a really good game last week. But seeing how Stafford has been playing with Nakua, and you got Devontae Adams, who's been a red zone threat, I'm going with the Rams. I think they will cover that spread. I just think their offense is too good, and that their D line with Verse. I mean,
Yeah.
you got a banged up Detroit O line. I mean, give me the Rams.
I agree with you. I'm going with the Rams to beat the Lions. The Rams were my preseason Super Bowl prediction, and they keep backing it up all season long. It's at Stafford against his former team coming out to visit him this time. I think the Rams, they've kind of had some slip-ups here and there. They just lost to Carolina not too long ago. But I think they'll bounce back. I think they will beat the Lions at home. Spencer?
I agree.
Yeah, fuck Stafford. Go Lions.
I knew that's what was coming. That's why I had to wait for you to be last.
Go Lions. Fuck Matthew Stafford.
All right.
His family is a bunch of pussies.
It happens, though. Real quickly before we do leave, I just want to add this in there. You and I are both Toledo grads. Jason Candle has left for UConn, and they have finally announced today as we are recording their new head coach, Mercer head coach, Mike Jacobs. Maumee native, has been a head coach at 2 other spots before Mercer. He's jumping up from the FCS level to the FBS, coming in to really coach his hometown team. Brian Blair has released a statement. I'll read it quickly here. Mike Jacobs is one of the winningest active head coaches in the nation and an extraordinary fit for Rocket football. Across 10 seasons as a head coach, he has compiled a remarkable record. He has earned 5 Conference Coach of the Year honors, won 7 conference championships, and never had a losing season, all while leading programs that consistently post a 3.0 or higher team GPA. From the moment we began this process, it was evident that Mike embodies the toughness, humility, integrity, and relentlessness and competitive drive that have long defined Toledo football. His commitment to developing young men, his blueprint for sustained excellence, and his sharp football mind make him exactly the kind of leader we want guiding this program. We are thrilled to welcome Mike and his family back home to Northwest Ohio. We look forward to the impact he will make on our student athletes, our campus, and our community. That's from Athletic Director Brian Blair over at the University of Toledo. Real quick, 30-second thoughts, Spencer, on the hire.
I really like it. He's a proven winner. Obviously, he went to Mercer, and he won 2 Southern Conference titles in his 2 years there. He's won everywhere he's been. And I do think it's a good hire. I think that you got a hometown guy, you got a guy who knows the area, knows the recruiting areas and all that stuff. I think it's going to be very well. My biggest hope will be that he brings his quarterback and Braden Atkinson with him, because Braden Atkinson was he won the Ray Rice freshman of the year in the FCS.
Yep. He was FCS Freshman of the Year. 35 touchdown passes, almost 4,000 passing yards. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be phenomenal if he can go to Toledo with him. That would be a massive get. So that's my hope. But either way, yeah, I like the hire. He wins everywhere he goes. He's a proven winner. Let's keep it going here at UT. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your final thoughts on that. Before we wrap up here, this episode 15 of the Scoop and Score Football Show. It's been a fun one. I want to thank Jacob for coming on.
Yes,
our first guest in this new format, how we've been recording. I appreciate you, Jacob, for coming on. Maybe you can come on a little bit more as well.
I would love to. This is amazing. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. I just want to leave some side note that for my Super Bowl predictions, I did have the Rams. I do have Rams Broncos. I just think those 2 defenses just are outstanding. Yes. And it's just proven with Sean Payton. He's just a defensive mind. And the fact that he trusted Bo Nix just is a really good idea for him. I know he's a good quarterback gem guy. So I got faith in that Broncos team. I got faith in that Rams team.
All right. We'll be back next week with another episode. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts or shows. Wherever you want to listen to us, you can. For Spencer, for Jacob, for me, we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Peace out.
Peace, guys.